Hello, everybody. Hello, so glad to see so many folks. Look at all these happy and familiar and I was gonna say faces, but there's some empty rooms and some backs of heads and all kinds of fun stuff going on. I'm so happy to see everybody. Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song as we continue with our amazing Washington Revels week. Thank you for being here today. I'm gonna say hello to everybody out there on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're glad you're here. And to all the folks in the room, including Jonathan, who's singing with us today, and Betsy Fulford from Washington Revels, who's going to be hosting today. Hello to Deli in Maryland, Mabel in Mass, Dan in Virginia. Hello to Deborah in Kentucky. We missed you. Glad you're back. Brian, hello. Nice to see you today. And Al with his guitar. Nice to see you today. Carol in Connecticut. Hello. Hi, Sheila in Florida. Hello, Kim from the Ubuntu Choir Network coming in from Vancouver. Great to see you. Arlene in California. Hello. Hello to Phoebe. Hello to Sarah in Texas. Hello, Christiana, coming in potentially still from Seattle. Nice to see you. Hello, Anne in Maryland. Hello, Jazzbeer. Glad you're with us again today. Good to see you. Hello to Bob in Maryland without Christiana, who's in Seattle. Hello, Bonnie in Idaho. Hello, Susan in Seattle, who maybe just met Christiana, who's in Seattle. Okay, that's really cool. There's a Daily Antidote meeting of two people who live across the country from each other and met through the Daily Antidote and now saw each other in person. That's what I say. Caroline in DC, hello. Fred in Maryland from the DC Labor Chorus, hello. Hello, Carolyn in Idaho. Hello, Luda in Victoria. Great to see you today. Hello to Jean. Glad you're back again. Good to see you. Storm in Mass, hello. Nice to have you today. Gary in Mass. And Alex in Tokyo. Wait a minute. Give it up for the 1 o'clock in the morning guy who's here with us again. Alex, we've missed you. We're glad you're here. Thank you for coming in all the way from Tokyo, and your background is beautiful. Annette in California, glad to see you. Dion in Mass, hello. Bronwyn in Victoria, hello. Jim in New York City, hello. Becky in Vancouver, hello. Bob, nice to see you today. Glad you're here. Jamie in Victoria, hello. Lynn in Connecticut, hello. Nancy from Washington State. Sandy in the Yukon. Jane in Maryland, and other folks who are off video. Hello to my mom in New Jersey. Hi, Mom. Hello to Joni and Barbara, Leslie, Ruth, Amos, great to see you, Suzanne and Cricket and Ruth and Leslie and other folks still popping in the room. So glad you've all joined today. Let's all take a deep breath. It is either Thursday or Friday, I don't remember which. It's Friday. Welcome to Friday. I am turning it over to Betsy Fulford, music director at Washington Revels. Betsy, thank you so much for co-hosting with me today.
Thank you, Joe, and welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. It's Friday. It actually is Friday. My name is Betsy Fulford, and I am the music director of Washington Revels, and I am so glad to see all your faces today. And welcome to everybody on Facebook Live. It's so great to see you today. Please make sure to come back tomorrow and Sunday because we have 2 more days of Washington Revels week. Tomorrow, the amazing Erin Geyer will be here, and many of you know her already. And she will be offering a song tomorrow. And then on Sunday, Jubilee Voices, many members of Jubilee Voices will be here to lead you in a song. I think that summer may already be here and the locusts are descending. I see pictures. I haven't seen any myself, but I do see some pretty scary pictures of those lovely cicadas out there. But Washington Revels and Carpe Diem Arts are going to continue celebrating spring for just a little bit longer. Tonight at 6:30, I encourage you to tune in to the monthly Carpe Diem Arts Washington Revels Community and Family Sing Online with your hosts, Dan and Claudia Zanes, who we've seen in this room many times. They are wonderful singers and wonderful hosts. There's an amazing lineup of song leaders for this celebration of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, also Jewish American Heritage Month and Mother's Day. So we're celebrating all of that tonight in the Community Sing. It's free, it's on Zoom, it's easy, so make sure you check that out. Then tomorrow, finally, the Washington Revels is releasing our celebration of spring, and be sure to register online so you can get the link for this free event. It's going to be in the chat, so I know you'll see it there. You will be not just watching this wonderful video presentation that we've created, but you will be singing along, dancing along, laughing and playing with everybody on the screen. It's a very wonderful interactive event that I'm sure that you will enjoy. And we might as well celebrate spring a little bit longer before the 90-degree days really take over. Phew, that was a lot. So on to today's wonderful singer. Jonathan Mulberg is with us today to lead us in a song. And I want to tell you just a tiny bit about Jonathan before we go into the song. Jonathan actually is a performer since the age of 5. So he's been performing since 1990. So he's a young one, and but never stopped. So once he got the performance bug, that was about it. And he is from Sacramento, California, but he's been living in the Washington, D.C. area since 2008. And he was introduced to Washington Revels as a member of our volunteer corps, and he worked with wardrobe because his wife, Abby, was involved in Washington Revels and in the Christmas Revels show. So he started in costumes and then immediately transferred back onto the stage, which is, I think, his spiritual home. He also plays percussion in an Irish group that has been very active during the pandemic, and we'll talk more about that later, but it's called the Whiskey Before Breakfast Band, which I just love that name. And we'll hear more about that when we chat with Jonathan after he leads us in a song. So I'm going to hand it over to Jonathan. He's going to tell you about the song, and the lyrics will be in the chat, and it's going to be great. So over to you, Jonathan.
All right, well, happy Friday, everybody. The song that we are doing today is called The Leaving of Liverpool. It's one of the first that I performed with my Irish group, Whiskey Before Breakfast Band. We are a pretty young group. We started in 2018, and then when the pandemic hit, we decided we needed to still play music together, and we found a virtual environment. So a little bit about the song. It started in the Victorian era. There's some dispute. It references the California Gold Rush and a Captain Burgess, which was an actual person living in the was a captain in the 1860s and 70s. So it's got many, many versions. It was made popular by the Clancy brothers in the 1950s, and then pretty much it's an Irish group standard. The version that we're going to do today is going to closely resemble the High Kings version of the tune. It's a sea shanty. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach the refrain. We're going to do 4 verses, verse, refrain, etc. And then the last time, after the 4th time, we're going to do the refrain twice. So the refrain goes, and for those of you wanting to know the starting pitch, I am doing E flat. It's a tenor key, so bear with me here. So the words are, fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. And so we'll break that down in, line by line. So, so fare thee well, my own true love. That's the first part. The second line is, when I return, united we will be. Okay, so we'll add those 2 together. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. Okay, the third line is, it's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me. And then the 4th line is, but my darling, when I think of thee. So we'll put that all together. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. So we'll do that one more time just to make sure you've got it, and then we'll start the song. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. Got it so far? Okay, great. I apologize if I'm a little loud. That's just my Chromebook, so bear with us. We'll start the song. Fare thee well to Prince's Landing Stage, River Mersey, fare thee well. I am bound for California, it's a place that I know right well. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I have signed on a Yankee clipper ship, Davy Crockett is her name, and Burgess is the captain of her, and they say that she's a floating shame. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I have sailed with Burgess once before. He's a man that I know right well. If a man's a sailor, he gets along. If not, then he's in living hell. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. Now the sun is rising on the harbor, love, and I wish I could remain. For I know it's gonna be a long, long time before I see you again. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. One more time. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Jonathan. I love that song. So it was a great way to end at least the work week, which for me, I suppose doesn't actually ever end because I have weekend jobs too, but at least the normal 9 to 5 work week and sometime today. Hooray. So thank you so much for bringing us that song. I think
Sure thing.
It's a great way to cap off the week. So I have some, I would like to hear more about several things. You've already told us about your song, and you told us a little bit about how that was one of the first songs that the Whiskey Before Breakfast band had in their repertoire. Tell us more about the band and how did you form it? Why did you form it? What
Sure.
are your plans?
So the band came about. We are actually a smaller group in a larger group, and the original group is called the Irish Breakfast Band. They are located here in Alexandria, Virginia. They are very well known in the local community. It's basically a community orchestra, if you will. We get together every Saturday. Well, before the pandemic, we would get together every Saturday. They missed 3 weeks in 30 years, and then the pandemic hit. But the younger generation got together and decided to continue the tradition. And so we wanted to put our own spin on things. And so we did, the 7 of us got together. There are 3 fiddles, because it's fiddles and not violins in Irish folk music. And we've got a piano and guitar and a mandolin and percussion. I play a bunch of different percussion instruments. And we just get together and wanted to continue playing the music and share it with the world in our own way. And we are still doing that. We have a couple videos coming out for June that are in current production, but we tend to try to release something every 3 weeks or so. They're somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes, so not too much time. And we can be found on YouTube if you search for Whiskey Before Breakfast Band. We have about 25 plus videos out there for your enjoyment.
Yes, and the link is in your chat, so be sure to check them out. I watch them pretty religiously, and they are super fun. Whoever does your filming and just sort of puts the whole thing together is very talented. So in addition to the fun music and wonderful singing and playing, you're going to see some absolutely entertaining visuals, both beautiful and silly and fun and everything in between. So do check that out. I understand since you started at age 5, you've been involved in theater for quite a long time. What have you been doing lately with theater, certainly during the pandemic? And then what are your plans now that things are starting to open up?
That's a great question. So during the pandemic, I was involved in a lot of virtual play readings, but I also developed a proposal to direct a show called Ragtime. You might have heard of it. It's based on the Doctorow book. And I got a call to direct the show at a local community theater here in Sterling, Virginia. And we're going to start auditions next year in May. And we're going to be performing in July and August of 2022. So that's like the next exciting theatrical thing for me.
That's great. Well, something fun to look forward to. So thank you for telling us about that. Tell me again what the group is called that the community theater is called.
That community theater is called the Sterling Playmakers. They're based in Sterling, Virginia. They do a number of different things. Mostly they do about 5 or 6 shows a year, and 3 of them are musicals and 3 of them are straight plays. So they do a lovely little mix.
Excellent. So I know both you and your wife, Abby, through Revels, and we talked a little bit about how you got involved with Revels kind of through costumes, which leads me to my next topic, which is I know that you and Abby especially are into historic costumes and,
yes.
And historic dancing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So my wife and I love living history, and Abby is really into historic costuming. She has her own Instagram. If you search for Abby Mulberg, you can find all of her projects. But we both perform with the Alexandria Assembly in Alexandria, Virginia at a place called Gadsby's Tavern. And we do English country dancing. there. It's the place where George Washington held his birthday party in 1798 and 1799. And it's in the original ballroom, and we get together and do historic dances there. She makes all of our costumes. I help with the research portion of it. But yeah, we dress up in 1770s, 1780s, 1790s, or even in the Regency era, and we just perform various English country dances, and it's fantastic, and it's cool little historical high for both of us to be in that room. So yeah, they just actually, what's funny is in the pandemic they were hosting virtual balls because they couldn't be in the spaces. So we had the opportunity to dance in our living room and do all those dances together that normally would be like 20, 30 people, but it's just the two of us. So it was kind of fun and different way to continue the tradition.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so everybody had to go virtual. So even your historic ball has to be done in your living room over Zoom, I presume.
Yes, with the wigs and everything. It was fun.
Yeah, and when Jonathan says that they make costumes, you really have to see some of these costumes. These are absolutely unbelievably beautiful historic garments. I'm amazed at the work that you both put into that. And so I would love to see one of those dances and see everyone in their costumes dancing. What a fun thing. So yeah, you've got quite an interesting bunch of things that you're involved with. So thank you for sharing all of that. In case you came in late, we're talking to Jonathan Mulberg here on the Daily Antidote of Song. And before we have a reprise of your song, I wanted to just give you a quick rundown of some upcoming events. So drum roll, brrr, here they are. So 2 more Daily Antidotes of Song from Washington Revels Week, tomorrow with Aaron Geyer and Sunday with Jubilee Voices. Tonight, Community Sing at 6:30. This is the Carpe Diem Washington Revels Community and Family Sing. Do not miss it, tonight at 6:30. Tomorrow, we release the Celebration of Spring, and it's going to be available until, I think, June 5th. So all you have to do is register online, and the link is in the chat, and the event is free, and you can watch it as many times as you want, and it's going to be lots and lots of fun. In fact, you might see some people that you know, including Jim Harkless. This is just a little teaser. So Jim Harkless, who we know very well on the Daily Antidote of Song, is very prominently featured in this video. So you have that to look forward to. And also Jubilee Voices and many, many other people that you have met. And then mark your calendars for June 19th as we look forward to the Juneteenth celebration that Jubilee Voices will be putting on in June, that is, the Juneteenth celebration in June. And Andrea will talk to you a lot more about what they're planning tomorrow and Sunday, but it's going to be great, and you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. I see that Busy thank you, Busy, has pasted in a list of song leaders for tonight's Community Sing. So make sure to look in your chat, because there are some amazing singers that are going to be participating tonight. And in addition, it's May birthday month. So if you haven't been to one of these Community Sings, you don't know this, but if your birthday's in May, you get to be celebrated in that Community Sing. So, so do tune in. I'd like to hand things back to Jonathan now to just do a little reprise of the Leaving of Liverpool. And then we're gonna eventually hear from Joe again. So back to you, Jonathan.
All right, well, let's just wrap this up with one more refrain, shall we? And there's your starting note. So fare thee well, my own true love, When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee.
Thank you so much. The Leaving of Liverpool, that's a song that will be my earworm for the day. So thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming in today. And we hope to have you and Abby back sometime together, which would be super fun. Do be sure to check out that Whiskey Before Breakfast band, because it's a great way to just enjoy some good music and some fun video. I'm going to hand things back over to Joe for some closing announcements and goodbyes.
Thank you so much, Betsy, for a great day of being hosted by you. And thank you so much, Jonathan, for the great music. And I do indeed hope that we can have you and Abby come back so we can hear your voices blending there. Thank you so much for picking a great song. It was a really, really nice time to be able to sing that uplifting and happy making, even if the words aren't entirely happy making. I enjoyed myself, and I know lots of folks did too. I could tell by all the faces. So thank you to everybody out there on Facebook Live for joining us today. Please join us tomorrow for 2 more days of our Washington Revels week. We're excited to be in the middle of this fun week, and can't wait to have you along for the ride.